Welcome, everyone, to the wild card edition of the Believe in Bengal podcast. Solomon Wilcots. Adam Pac-Man Jones couldn't be with us today, but it's okay. We got the defensive backfield covered because former Cincinnati Bengal defensive back Eric E.T. Thomas joining us on the show. E, what's up with you, baby? How you doing?
Bingo.
Hey, I know you got to be excited. You and I were on the field the last time the Bengals won a playoff game back in 1990. We were playing the Houston Oilers. Everybody know now. We won that game 41-14. Yeah. And you and I had been saying, hey, man, we got to put an end to this. This has got to be over. We had asked Zach Taylor, the head coach, to put an end to it. Joe Burrow and the guys to put an end to it. And that's exactly what they did. I know you were down at the stadium. Yeah. Kind of give me a flavor for what the atmosphere was like and what was it like when they finally clinched the victory, beating the Las Vegas Raiders on Saturday?
I tell you what, so, man, I've been down to many games. I went down several years ago when they played the Seattle Seahawks. That's when Seattle was really hot. Russell Wilson and all the guys were still there. They just came off the Super Bowl. And I tell you what, being down there, man, I think they had said they had 66,772 or something like that. It was the biggest crowd I'd ever seen, Saul. But I tell you what, I think back to our days when we played in the jungle and how exciting it was. It was electric, man. I mean, it was electric. I mean, it was the atmosphere that I'd never seen at Paul Brown before. I mean, they've had exciting games, but nothing like that. It was refreshing to see the fans really bring that energy and really help the team out. It was fantastic.
Now, I got to let everybody know that today's episode is brought to them by Believe and Bet Online. Bet Online would like to wish you a happy betting new year as we continue our march toward the playoff and beyond. Bet Online remains the number one spot for all of the best sports wagering action in 2022 in the new year, and the new updated desktop and mobile website. All you got to do is just sign up today to receive your 50% welcome bonus and your first deposit. Just use the promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, to get started. From football, basketball, hockey, boxing, UFC, right to your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of all of the amazing offers available in 2022. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all of your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts. All right.
Bet on the Bengals, baby.
That's right. Hey, man, I'm telling you, you and I, we were feeling good going into this game. Again, the Bengals come away a winner over the Raiders 26-19. Joe Burrow didn't have one of those spectacular games, E.T., but I thought it was a clean game. I thought it was a smart game, 244 yards, 2 touchdowns, but he didn't turn it over. And even though we knew they could rush the quarterback, he took care of the football. Maybe that was the most important thing about his performance.
It was. We talked about how the Raiders play defense. And when a team plays a cover 4, cover 3 type shell, they're not going to give you the opportunity to throw it over their heads very often. So Joe Burrow had to come down and play that kind of game, and you got to give him a lot of credit. He's the kind of quarterback this year that's made a lot of huge plays. So the temptation to just throw it up is there. But as you saw him, take what they give you. I think that he understands how to play the game. He's understanding how to play and how to take care of the football. Touchdowns are great. Taking care of that football, errant throws, and putting the ball on the ground, can't do it. And he's playing that kind of football. If he does that, they're gonna be reckoned with, I believe.
Okay, E.T. Hey, something's happening where your audio is popping high and then it's coming back low. Is there a tightening? Something needs to be tightened or something? Are you touching something as you're talking?
Let me see here.
It was okay. It's just that it started getting hot and was getting really high. And for whatever reason, it was popping high and then popping back low.
No, I just need a little bit closer.
Okay.
How's that?
And you maybe don't bang the desk or whatever. Maybe that was activating it. I don't know.
I might have touched something.
Yeah, and we'll just pick up where we left off there. We'll edit everything. Okay. So it'll be okay. All right.
Yep.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, what about Joe Burrow? I believe, E.T., that he pumped out and faked out the officials big time. Because that's why I think they blew that whistle, even though the ball was in the air. I think Joe Burrow acted like he was going to run out of bounds. and he stopped immediately
and
threw the ball over to Tyler Boyd. The defensive back stopped. I believe some of the players stopped. The official acted like he was going to go out of bounds. And at the last minute, he kind of blew the whistle in an uncertain way. Not sure if Joe really went out of bounds. But talk to me about what you saw happen. You were down at the stadium because it looked like Joe faked everybody out. He wanted them to think he was going out of bounds. Then he just came up and threw it. It's what allowed Tyler Boyd to get separation and make the catch, not the fact that the whistle was blown late. Players are always taught to play through the whistle anyway.
Right.
But I thought he was open because Joe did a really good job of faking out the coverage, but he also faked out the ref.
I tell you what, so as we watched the play at the game, it was so loud. And as you remember, he was getting chased, so the fans were getting antsy. So the crowd noise went up. It looked like nothing happened. It just looked like it was a normal play. After Tyler Boyd caught the football, we still didn't know what the discussion was about. We thought maybe it was about the fact he might have stepped out of bounds and not the fact that the referee blew the whistle because, as I said, at the stadium, it was so loud that you couldn't hear it. You couldn't hear anything. So we thought that it was just a routine play. We didn't know until I was in the suite, so I looked up at the TV and I saw the referees discussing something. And at that point, that's when we found out that they were talking about the inadvertent whistle. But at the game, man, it was just so electric. We thought that the play was good. Nothing happened until we saw the referee conference.
You know, I was told by some of the people who were there that it was as loud as those 88 games that we used to play.
It was.
And that that it really impacted the game. And maybe that was one of the plays that it impacted. Talk to me how you think it impacted Derek Carr, because I thought when Trey Hendrickson sacked and stripped him of the fumble earlier, we were able to turn it into some points and get a touchdown. It ended up being 10-0 lead. We took a 10-0 lead. That really did help us. But also late in the game with Jermaine Pratt, where it looked like they were the Raiders were going down to tie the game. They needed a touchdown to tie it in the final minutes. It looked like the place was rocking, and it looked like Derek Carr and the offense was just a little bit off their game because of the crowd noise. And then Jermaine Pratt put the game on ice with the game-winning interception. How did you see those moments unfolding at the end of the game?
Well, you're absolutely right. You know, it seems like, you know, obviously with the Bengals pressure and Hendrickson coming like the way he was, and the crowd noise did have an effect on Carr. He wasn't as sharp as he had been in the week before against the Chargers. So the Bengals defense did a good job, but the crowd noise definitely had their offense off tick just a little bit. On that last drive, the crowd was electric. I mean, the fact that he was actually able to make some plays, the crowd was absolutely electric. And as he started getting closer down to the end zone, you could see the energy going up. I told someone in the booth, I said, hey, someone's got to make a play. Someone's got to make a play because, you know, when they're driving, someone's got to step up. Jermaine Pratt, man, he's a dude, man. He is a dude. He's a very good football player. If you remember, he's the guy that forced the fumble against Minnesota for the Bengals to get the ball back and go down and score and win that game. So they got some guys, and I think Jermaine Pratt, man, he seems like he understands that when a play has to be made, he finds a way to put himself in position. It was fantastic, man. Best atmosphere probably ever for Paul Brown Stadium.
I will say this, legends are born in the postseason. Jermaine Pratt won't be having to pay for his drinks in Cincinnati anymore. If he's in the restaurant when I'm there, that meal's taken care of. Jermaine Pratt ain't paying for nothing for a while around here, my man.
That's right.
That was a big time play. Hey, listen, Cincinnati Bengals now got to go down to Nashville, take on King Henry and that juggernaut of a Tennessee Titans offense. And get this, I just received news. Larry Ogunjobi, broken foot, out for the year. Mike Daniels, the other defensive tackle for the Cincinnati Bengals, he tore his groin. He's out, won't be able to play. Trey Hendrickson, he's in concussion protocol. We expect him to make it back. The interior part of the defensive line, we got DJ Reader. Okay, but we're missing our depth. They're looking for guys as we speak.
Wow.
So I'm worried. I'm really worried. Talk to me about your concerns and what we have to do to be able to win this game.
or when you hear that, that is concerned because, you think about Derrick Henry running the ball inside. They run the ball inside. I think the advantage for the Bengals is that Derrick Henry's coming back. And as any football player, NFL player, when you've missed an extended period of time, you come back, you're not going to be as sharp. Running backs are like that more than anyone else. So I think when he comes back, if they can control him early in the game, don't let him, squeak out and get some squeak runs, and they can control him early, I think they'll be fine. I think the Bengals, man, have done a really good job, Solomon, of finding a way to fortify their talent and keep young players coming in. Even though it seems like some of these players are young, unheard of, for this particular defense, they plug them in and they play well. DJ Reed is a big-time player inside. Any player that's going to be playing next to him, he's going to know you got to step up because DJ's going to do his part. I think that their linebackers, they need to get the heavy hat because get the heavy hat because I'm telling you right now, they're going to try to run the ball. Tennessee's a very physical football team, and they're a big team. And they pride themselves on being big and physical. So this is one of those games with the cooler weather. They're going to try to establish that running game. The Bengals got to step up on that and make Tannehill be the guy. Like I know, he's been in the league a number of years. He's a good NFL quarterback. He's not great. He's not a game winner. He's a game manager. So they have to make sure that Tannehill's in a position to manage the game.
You played cornerback in this league. You've gone to Pro Bowls as a cornerback in this league. What do the Cincinnati Bengals corners, what are the challenges when taking on someone like A.J. Brown? This is a big physical dude who's strong. And, oh, by the way, Julio Jones is back. Yep.
It's a great, big challenge. As you know, I've had concerns about the Bengals corners. I didn't know if Apple could hold up. Eli Apple could hold up. Been playing good football. This week, that Brown kid, man, this dude is a real deal. I saw a game, Solomon. He was standing next to the running back. He's the same size. He's the same size as the running back. So this is going to be one of those situations where, they're going to have to, those corners are going to be up against it. We've seen games in the past where teams have just thrown the ball up. The Chargers threw the ball up against the Bengals for a 50-50 ball. They're going to do the same thing with these big receivers, and the Bengals secondary has to get ready for it. The safeties in this game are going to be big. The run game and the pass game are going to be big for the safeties in this game. If their safeties, Von Bell and Jesse Bates, play well, they should be able to do well in the secondary in this game.
So here's what I'm predicting. Joe Burrow, Cincinnati Bengals offense has to come out on fire. Yep. And here's the reason why I'm saying this. Imagine the Bengals go down to Nashville and bang, touchdown first drive. Bang, another touchdown first drive, or at least 10 to 14 points early.
Yep.
As much as Mike Vrabel wants to stick with the run game, you can't do that in the playoff game.
That's right.
You're looking at that scoreboard, you're down by 14 points.
That's right.
And now what that does, it saves us from being light in the box with our defensive line and they won't be able to lean on us as much in the run game.
That's right.
When they're having to chase points on the scoreboard. So, but with that said, here's what the Bengals offense is facing. If you thought the Raiders pass rush was going to be a challenge, this dude, Jeffrey Simmons, number 98 for the Tennessee Titans, he's a guy that he just wrecked the Rams when they played him on Sunday night.
He runs people over.
And then Denico Autry, he's the defensive lineman also on that defensive line for the Tennessee Titans. So they've got big bodies that can get a push. But their secondary, Kevin Byard, one of the best safeties in all the NFL. He doesn't get enough talk, but trust me. And then they've got Christian Folk. You may not remember him, but he's a young corner, went to LSU with Jamar Chase and with Joe Burrow. Okay, good young cornerback. And then Jack Rabbit, Janoris Jenkins on the back end. So I think this is a better defense when it comes to a pass rush coverage combination than the ones that the Bengals just faced last week in the Las Vegas Raiders.
No doubt about it. And you know that Vrabel comes from New England. He comes from that train of thought. They run the zone blitz just like New England does. It's the same type of defense. We ran the same defense. It's complicated for young quarterbacks to figure it out. So this is going to be a real test for Joe Burrow because I don't know if he's quite seen what they're going to do schematically on defense. And then when you add those big players that you talked about pushing up inside, it's going to make a big difference. Joe Burrow is going to have to really, really play this is what going to have to be his best game all year, I think, because I think that the chess match that he's going to play with their defense and how they're going to and the push that they're going to get inside, he's going to have to be very wary of that. I say this, the way that their defense functions, they leave their guys out there on some islands. So there's going to be some opportunities. They're going to get opportunities in this game in some one-on-ones that they did not get against the Raiders because the Raiders didn't play like that schematically. So just like you said, I think if they come out and Tennessee offers up those opportunities and they can get a touchdown 10-point, 14-point lead, it can take pressure off of their defense and have them lean more on their pass rush and not so much on their rush defense. I think that's a great point. I believe, Solomon, that that's what's going to happen because the Bengals can move the ball on anybody. We know that. If Joe Burrow can figure out the chess match early about how they're going to try to affect how he plays, and he can settle down, I think they have a great opportunity to win this game, man.
There will come a time when you're going to have to tackle Derrick Henry.
That's right.
And you remember what Coach LeBeau and Sam Weiss used to say to us? Say, men, it's kind of like going to the dentist. It's going to hurt, but you got to go anyway. So, right. Whatever you do, don't go reaching. If you go tackle him, what's going to happen if you go reaching like this to tackle him?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. We've seen that. We've seen him do that.
He's going to give you one of those. If you reach out to tackle that guy, all you're going to get is this. Boom. That's going to be a nice little stiff jab in terms of that stiff arm. He's going to put you on your back.
Well, when you watch Tennessee, Solomon, they just do it by committee. Even though Derrick Henry's been out, they've still been running the football.
That's right.
I mean, it's just what they do. And they're going to continue to do that. And they're going to think that, hey, our best defense against Joe Burrow is to run the ball and keep him on the sideline. They know that. They understand that. And they'll control the game like that. So the Bengals have to make sure early that we cannot let them set the tone with the running game and allow them to sustain drives by getting big chunks on first down.
One thing about the way the Titans play, they tend to keep the opponent in the game because they slow it all down. They run the ball. Yeah. They don't have a lot of explosive plays, and they don't score quickly. They tend to consume a lot of time off the clock, like what you said, trying to play keep away from Joe Burrow. So this game is going to be close, and the Bengals are going to have to find a way to steal it in the end. E.T., hey, man, thank you for taking the time to join us. You're the best, my man. Anytime we get to chop it up and talk football, it's always a good day. I see you in the gym tomorrow, mañana.
I'll see you tomorrow, brother.